two West Coast teams in the Eastern Hemisphere. It's the coach. This is week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks had to travel 4,781 miles for their road game, but the Raiders flew 5,345 miles for their home game. It's Seattle and Oakland from London, England. I'll be back with you at halftime, but first, it's off to London as we say good day to our announcers, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you. We are over 4,000 miles away from where you're seated in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England, and Wembley Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Set to go now in week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And he'll be taken down just shy of the 40. And even 20 yards and a first down on the game's very first play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. That's
going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Spins away. And some room to roam now. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Mike Davis, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. First carry for Doug Martin, the 2-time Pro Bowler in Tampa. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. A look now at the Oakland offense.
The NFL's comeback player of the year in 2016 is Jordy Nelson. He couldn't duplicate the magic last year with his quarterback Aaron Rodgers on the shelf for a big portion of it due to injuries, but he's still well respected around the league. If you want to run press coverage against him, be prepared for him to run by you.
Now Carr throwing on second down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
off
second
or
down.
not on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Now a play fake. Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they've got the football, and they're already knocking on the door inside the 5 at the 4-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No
him.
one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Wilson. This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And that means my eyes go to Doug Baldwin out on the perimeter. He plays the game so hard and with such passion, but also plays it skillfully. Only 1 drop last season on his way to another Pro Bowl season.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the
Still
jersey
second
there
down.
on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another second and goal. After the penalty, it's Penny, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal. Here's how they'll line things up on the defensive side of the ball for Oakland. And they're squarely in the middle of the pack against the run this year, number 16 in the NFL.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's third and goal. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's fourth.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
The numbers on the ground for Martin a week ago. 22 carries, 78 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
First down, here's the run with Martin. A gain of 3, second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On play action, it's Carr. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the gun, it's Carr. And this one is incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Seahawks offense now. They get ready to come back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a game.
On second down, here's Wilson. Pass incomplete. He was looking for his big target, Brandon Marshall. 3rd down here.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. They'll set up the screen with Davis. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at about the 32. Now Carr. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage. Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Carr to throw on second down. And this will be incomplete. Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Martin. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. Here now, Johnny Townsend on for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going. They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field. Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Penny, a first down carry. And now running right through it. And he'll get this up to about the 40. The numbers for him from a week ago. 16 carries, 74 yards. Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on. Here's Carson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage. And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you? Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. From the shotgun, Wilson. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football. They give to Martin. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line. And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Shotgun now for Carr. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
To throw, it's Carr. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. This one caught left side by Cooper. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20 at the 15. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. And off comes to Martin. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Carr. And this is caught for a touchdown. And hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Now Carr. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And the ball situated at the 9, 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun, Carr. That's complete right around the 8. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. From the gun, Carr. inside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Malik McDowell able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the 2nd quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
And they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Penny. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Reggie Nelson, the free safety, in on the stop.
One of the surprises of the 1st round, the Seattle Seahawks selecting running back Rashad Penny out of San Diego State. Highly regarded, but most people thought he would go in the 2nd round.
But he did have an incredible senior year at San Diego State. Over 2,200 yards, 23 touchdowns. He
resembles Marshawn Lynch in build, but has the ability to take it the distance as well. Had 7 kick returns during his career at San Diego State for touchdowns.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super tough.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And this is Cook with a grab. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Raiders on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah,
First down.
offside's easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Carr. Roberts with it over the middle. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Two minutes to play here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
To throw on 2nd down. Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. Now Martin. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And a 10th carry here for Martin. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. K.J. Wright in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've come upon halftime with a visiting. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Martin. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
They run, Martin. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw with Carr. It's caught by Roberts. And a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding. Defense.
Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, They have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Seahawks on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Wilson operating from the gun. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Following the penalty, Martin. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Hard throw, incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They keep it with Penny on 1st down. Space to maneuver at the 40. And a cutback left. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
They try to fire up the running game with Martin. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Play action. Now it's Carr. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Carr now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Carr. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here.
Holding offense.
That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. From the gun, it's Carr. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Another tote for the workhorse, Martin. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a pickup of a yard there. That won't help too much. They're left with a 3rd and forever now.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The Raiders on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and a mile. Again, it's Martin.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4th.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him, 15 big yards. A handoff to Penny. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Play action. Now Wilson. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Goes underneath to Martin. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Carr drops it off to Martin. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Carr to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there. hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Again, it's Penny. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
6-yard return after a punt of 48. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now here come the Raiders. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
They run it again with Martin. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Carr. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, this is by Thema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Seahawks on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Wilson. And they're going to get this one up past the 25. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Here's Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. In on the stop, Bradley McDougald.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through three quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Doug Martin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had two previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They go read option with Wilson. He may try and run for this. Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the fourth. Well, plays like that make the O coordinator look like a genius, but I don't think he saw that play going that well.
No, I don't think so either, but boy, it all worked out perfectly. They caught them in the right defense, guys dropping off into coverage, their eyes averted somewhere else, and guess what? He filled the void with his legs.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Doug Martin now gearing up to go again here on offense. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Throwing now is Carr. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Martin. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Now Carr, got to have this one. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On 2nd down, Davis. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now it's Carson. Able to fight through one tackle. And some room to work. How did he stay on his feet? That one 28 yards on the ground.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. Now Rashad Penny. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me